Okay, you
Fix it
ready?
in post.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll send it to you in post, Josh, and you can edit it for me. Okay, you ready? Okay. He's faster than a speeding bullet, can hop a building in a single bound, and is stronger than a locomotive. He's the last of his kind, serving our planet by protecting the weak. He is Superman. Like most people who know Superman, I see him as an American icon who's molded around Christian beliefs and myths. This is because, over the years, different creators have chosen to compare Superman to Jesus, like Zack Snyder in his most recent films of Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, and Justice League. But in reality, Superman's creation and origin, like many superheroes we know and love, are based on Jewish stories and legends. First, I'm going to talk about why and how the Jewish community became so ingrained in the comic industry with no one knowing. Then I'll be discussing how similar Superman is to Moses in the Golem of Prague. Now on to how Jewish creators became a major part of the comics industry. Due to the persecution of Jewish people in Europe, many people immigrated to the United States to escape it in the early 1900s. Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, children of Jewish immigrants, are the creators of Superman. Many creators of our favorite comic characters, like Stan Lee, whose real name is Stanley Lieber, are Jewish. In his book from 2007, disguised as Clark Kent, Danny Fingeroth, a longtime comic book creator and writer, stated that as a part of their assimilation to America, Jews became deeply involved in creating the modern myths that infuse our pop culture. Now, they did this so they could become better ingrained into the communities and then so they could know more people around them. But you're probably asking yourself, why do we not know these people are Jewish? Well, many creators changed their names to hide their ethnicity from the public. Jennifer Kaplan, an assistant professor of religious studies and program director for Jewish studies at Townsend University, stated in an article from this past January in the Journal of Jewish Identities that Stanley changed his name because he did not want his real Jewish name associated with something as lowbrow as comics. He once said, people had no respect for comic books at all. Most parents didn't want their children to read them. Therefore, while many Jews undoubtedly changed their names out of fear of discrimination, there's also a sense from those within the comics community that what they were doing wasn't good art and it wasn't good for the Jews. So many artists and writers hid who they were from the public so they wouldn't be discriminated against and so their work wouldn't reflect badly on the Jewish community because there was already so much against them at the time. Now, Jewish creators have been an integral part to creating some of the world's most popular superheroes today, like Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Green Lantern, and Flash, and Batman. But due to no one knowing that these creators were Jewish, it was hard for people to see the similarities between Superman and some of these famous Jewish stories, like Moses and the Golem of Prague. Now, I'm going to start with Moses because it's the most well-known because Moses' stories in the Quran, the Torah, and the Bible, so most people know about Moses. Moses and Superman have very similar origins. They were both sent away from their birth family, adopted by another family, and then that family then raised the child as their own. Then later on, the child then learns about their true birth heritage and then uses that heritage to help others. Now, in Superman's case, he was rocketed from Krypton across the cosmos and landed in Kansas. But for Moses, he was sent down the river to escape the Pharaoh's order to kill all of the Jewish people in the Bureau. So Richard Purcell, a visiting professor from religion and philosophy at the Florida Southern College in 2020, wrote in the Journal for the Study of the Old Testament that here, several different women, both Hebrew and Egyptians, subvert Pharaoh's violence. Moses' mother sets Moses into the river rather than throwing him, and Pharaoh's daughter has compassion on Moses rather than slaying him. And this, by taking Moses in, he was raised as a prince of Egypt, and Superman was raised as a farmer in Kansas. Now, Moses learns about his heritage from a burning bush, and Superman learns his heritage from a rocket in their barn basement. But Moses learns that after learning that, he helps the Jewish people be free from Pharaoh's tyranny in Egypt, and Superman uses it to defeat giant aliens trying to bottle up a small city and whatnot. But that's between Moses and Superman. Now, a lesser known similarity is between Superman and the Golem of Prague. In 2016, in the South Atlantic Review, Gina Alani said, the Rabbi Judah Lowe created an animate being fashioned from clay endowed with superpowers who would help save the Jewish community in Prague from blood libel and persecution. The rabbi's golem also did menial work, such as cleaning up or bringing water to the congregants of the synagogue. Now, this was in the from 1520 to 1609 was during that period where this legend comes from. But Superman is very similar to the Golem because of what he does and why he was created. What Superman did in his early days and what he does now is similar to how the Golem acts in the legend. The Golem protected the Jewish people in their little bureau from anti-Semitic attacks from other people. Superman protects, in his early days, protected civilians in the neighborhood from gangsters and then soldiers from Nazis, and now the world from dark side. But he also does little tasks too, like the golem bringing water to the synagogue. Superman does little tasks such as saving cats from trees and putting out fires. But his creation is what's very similar to the golems. The golems was used to protect Jewish people in a time where they were being persecuted and hunted, much like how Superman was created. Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster created Superman during a time of unrest in the Jewish communities in both America and Europe, and they created a golem that they wanted to have around them at times to protect them from this unrest. Now, Superman may have originated from Krypton, but his background is Jewish. So now that we've dove into Superman's heritage, let's end our journey on some concluding thoughts. I showed that the Jewish culture is ingrained in the comic industry and how most people didn't know about it. I then showed how similar Superman is to both Moses and the Golem of Prague. Now, before we go comparing Kal-El, Superman, to our Savior Jesus Christ, remember that most of his roots are Jewish and not Christian. I encourage you all to look into the inspirations for your favorite characters because you might be surprised at how wrong you are about their origin.